Team Godzilla party, yeah! Hey, what's up you guys? Shartimus Prime here doing another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers figure review on the SH Figuarts Yellow Ranger from Bandai Tamashii Nations. If you're trying to get this figure, you can get it at Big Bad Toy Store.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Same packaging that we got with the rest of the Rangers, and I am very excited to have this figure as I can complete my team. Ages 15 and up, we have a Yellow Ranger right there, less Yellow Ranger, I don't know, this one looks a little brighter right there in the picture than the actual figure itself. And it says celebrating 20 years right there at the bottom, and then we have the side, and we have all this writing in gold. Ooh, I like the gold. And then we have movable option parts and molding. Oh, I love that. And then it has some more gold. Oh, I like the gold writing. So nice. Anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's a Yellow Ranger out of the packaging. So far, already, just had this for like a day now, but I think it's one of my favorite Power Rangers figures. I really like it. And the Yellow Ranger by far is not my favorite Power Ranger. But, you know, I always like the Green Ranger. That one's my favorite in case you're wondering. But I really like this figure a lot. It's a brand new body mold. I did some inspecting, make sure, you know, you can tell like the legs right over here. These are different, you know, so. But it is possible that this is a mold used from another Power Ranger figure. And then there also is the Super Sentai Yellow Ranger or Tiger Ranger, I believe. That's the male version. Remember back in the day where, you know, all of a sudden, you know, Yellow Ranger went from woman to man? How did that happen? I felt so weird inside, you know what I mean? It was just so strange, yeah, especially because, you know, I was like 12 or something when the show hit the air, you know, so I was kind of like, hey, what's going on with me? But it was just, you know, the Japanese playing a trick, so that's a little messed up. But anyway, this figure comes with a ton of accessories. Let's take a look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at this figure. We got this instruction booklet, and yes, we get to assemble the Power Blaster. Ooh, I'm excited, so we'll do that in a minute. And speaking of Power Blaster, Trinity comes with the final piece we need to build it, and it is the Power Axe. Different from the one that came with the Black Ranger. As you can see, this piece comes off right over here. The Black Ranger's Power Axe has no such function, and yeah, this one's actually thicker. And it looks like this one's longer, but this one's thicker, so ladies, pick your poison. So we have all the weapons here ready and set to build the Power Blaster. These three over here came with the Black Ranger, and these three over here came with the Blue Ranger. I think it's kind of funny that the female character's weapons came with the Blue Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Blue Ranger, he gay, you know, and he get girly, you know, weapons. Anyway, so let's get this thing transformed. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alright, so we're going to take the Power Axe and lift this little piece up right over there, put that right there. And then the next step is you're going to take the power bow and then you're going to plug it into the middle port right there. You can see that there's three of them, and you want to be very, very careful when you do this because I don't think it's going to break, but I still kind of am very scared that it's going to break if you're not super careful with it. So I'm not even looking into the viewfinder at all. Nope. Anyway, so you take this little piece and you put it right back on top of the Power Axe, and then that's going to close that shut right there. And then we're going to take the power lances. They go in first. And then there's an angle to these that match the ports that they go into, and you want to go ahead and carefully put those in there. Then take the daggers and plug them in the same way as we did with the blue lance, or with the power lance, and do that right there, the blue lance. Yeah, well, it is a blue lance, you know what I mean? Not really wrong about that. And there's that one right there. Cool. All right, and then finally we will attach the sword, and it has a little slot right there that's going to tab into the Power Axe right over here. And I'm just going to make sure that all fits together nicely. It's also going to connect on this side, so you can see that little, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. There's a groove right there. And it's going to attach in both of those places. You really want to make sure everything is lined up properly. And again, this stuff does feel a little on the fragile side. Definitely the scariest part about putting this together is this little piece right over there. That gives me the most trouble. There we go, and that's all tabbed in. Sick! Oh, that looks so badass. This little thing is awesome. Wow. Look at that. And then all the Power Rangers holding it. Blah, 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 blah. And of course she has her Blade Blaster and her Thunder Slinger, the same pieces that came with the other Power Rangers. Now the figure comes with 4 pairs of interchangeable hands. We have fist and hands, and then we have gripping hands which are for the daggers, and then we have these smaller gripping hands which I think are for the Thunder Slinger, and then we have these 2 open hands. And I really like how these hands are not posed exactly the same. There's a little bit of a difference between the two of them. I think that's cool. And lastly, of course, she comes with her 2 power daggers. Nice little bit of gold paint applications over there. I like the silver paint apps coming up over here. The yellow looks pretty good. And the yellow tone actually matches the figure itself pretty well, I think. Well, got that right there. They actually are quite sharp and pointy. So I think the helmet sculpt on this figure looks pretty good. I like the silver paint applications, especially on the nose and on the mouth. You can see it pretty well right there on the teeth. Nice glossy paint right over there for the visor part of the helmet. And you could really see the shape of the saber-toothed tiger right there. I think this is wonderful. And as the figure should, the helmet has a much more reflective finish. You can see the light right over there, as opposed to the rest of the suit having just a matted yellow to it. And for some reason, to me, the neck looks a little on the long side. Did she actually really have a long neck like that? I can't remember. Now, from the waist up, I believe the sculpt is exactly the same as the Pink Ranger. I like the yellow paint. I think it looks really good. It's a little bit richer than I thought it was going to be. I know yellow is a very hard color to work with, but the important thing is I think the paint apps look very clean over here. There's no real yellow bleeding into the white. And then you can kind of see the saber-toothed tiger logo right there on her morpher. You can kind of see it. It's kind of tricky to see, but it is there. And yeah, like I said, paint apps look very clean. I really like these new thigh sculpts. I think they look really nice. I like how you can see some wrinkle kind of coming in right there. It looks not too bad. But it does look like the paint is going to be a little bit fragile. I feel like I already got a scuff coming on right over here, and I don't even remember dropping it at all. So it's very subtle, but it is kind of there. So yeah, and then we have some more new wrinkles. These new wrinkles are great. I like the new wrinkles. Not too bad though. Really nice sculpting on here. I think they got down the female anatomy pretty well. Of course, that could be a little bit bigger though. And then you have these nice legs right here, and then the boots have some nice wrinkles in them too. And like the other Rangers, there's no pegals at the bottom of the feet, but you can be China. So again, I don't know if this body mold has been used by another Figuarts figure before, but I really like the articulation, and that's one of my favorite things about this figure, is that it's a female body mold with this great articulation. Her head can move up very far. I really like that a lot, and it moves down very far as well. You could rotate side to side, and you get some great neck pivot over here. We get these shoulder pads right here that shift in and out a little bit. You can see that happening right over there. So it allows the elbows, or the shoulders, I don't want to call it elbows, you can move that all the way up and rotate that all the way forward. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist move side to side, down and up on a hinge. We get this great diaphragm joint over here. You could rotate that side to side, and she does crunch forward and back quite a bit, and she does have some pivot motion. Same thing with the waist. We get some rotation side to side, and at the waist she can crunch forward and back and some pivot as well. The belt can shift up and down a little bit. Now the hip joints right here can look a little weird, and this, you know, can come off at the peg, but you can put it right back on there. I like to shift that up like that. You get some thighs that, I don't know, or the hips actually move down and up over here. So it can look weird with some weird gappage, but most of the time when you're doing that, you're doing it so she can get a high kick going on or something like that, and then it doesn't really look so weird. And then the legs can move all the way outward. She can do the splits. Let's see if we can get her. Actually, no, she can't, but it's very, very close. And she does have an upper thigh swivel, so the more you spread the legs, the more you can see the components and stuff. So that's what you get for being a cochino. Stop trying to do that. Anyway, you get double jointed knees right over there, and you get ankles that move down and move up, and she has a beautiful ankle pivot, rotation side to side, and toe articulation. So for her female figure, she's not too short. She's just over 5.5 inches tall. And here she is standing next to the Pink Ranger, and I want to say they stand at exactly the same height. And to compare it to just one of the male Power Rangers figures, here she is next to the Black Ranger, and here she is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, and here's a Yellow Ranger with the rest of the team. Yes, it feels so complete. This is so cool. I'm so happy to have this. It's been a long process, at least a year of collecting all of these to get this team formed, and SH Figuarts has done a fantastic job. I just love this. It's just too badass. And what's really cool too is there's this cool function with the Green Ranger where you can automatically swap it out with the White Ranger only by snapping your fingers. And just like that, we have Tommy the White Ranger instead, looking really cool. Man, I really love what SH Figuarts has done. Any room for just a little dagger? Even seeing this setup right here, I just think it's incredible. I'm very, very stoked to have this. This is just too awesome. I really love what SH Figuarts Bandai Tamashii Nations has done. I really, really enjoy having this set. Fun factor through the roof, just absolutely awesome, and I totally recommend them. For import figures, they're really not that high in price, and you get a ton of accessories, and the fact that they got this whole thing together with the Power Blaster, I just absolutely love it. Anyway, I hope you guys liked my video. Hit the like button if you did. Leave a comment, subscribe. Check out toynewseye.com for a full photo gallery of images, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Gave it a spark. Welcome to Articulated Comic Book Art. That's crispy.